I thought I had it all. A beautiful fiancée, Sarah, a great job, and a wedding just months away. Our life together felt like a fairy tale. But little did I know, I was living in a carefully constructed lie. It all started with small things. Late nights at work she couldn't explain. Hushed phone calls she'd take in another room. A sudden distance between us that felt like a canyon. I tried to talk to her, to understand what was wrong, but she'd just brush it off, saying I was being paranoid and that wedding planning was stressing her out. My gut told me something was seriously wrong, but my heart didn't want to believe it. One evening, I came home early from a business trip to surprise her. The lights were off, which was strange. ¿As primera? Walkerin. I heard voices from the bedroom. My heart pounded in my chest. I pushed the door open, and the scene that unfolded before me shattered my world. There she was, with another man. Not just any man, but my supposed best friend, Mark. The betrayal was a physical blow. I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. I just stood there, frozen in shock and disbelief. When they finally noticed me, the panic in their eyes was quickly replaced by a cold, calculating look from Sarah. She started screaming, accusing me of being possessive, of suffocating her. Mark just stood there, unable to look me in the eye. I didn't want to cause a scene. I just grabbed a few things, told them to be gone by the time I got back, and left. I drove 4 hours, with no destination in mind, my mind replaying the scene over and over. The woman I was about to marry, the man I called my brother, had stabbed me in the back in the most brutal way possible. The next few days were a blur of anger and heartbreak. I told Sarah the wedding was off and that she needed to move out immediately. That's when her true colors really came out. She refused to leave. She claimed she had nowhere to go and that she had put her whole life on hold for me. She started demanding money, a ridiculous amount, threatening to ruin my reputation and tell everyone I was abusive if I didn't pay up. I was floored. This wasn't the woman I loved. This was a stranger, a venomous, manipulative stranger. The arguments became a daily occurrence. She would provoke me, insult me, trying to get a reaction. I knew what she was doing. She was trying to push me to my limit so she could play the victim. Worried about what she might do, I decided to protect myself. I ordered a few small, discreet security cameras and placed them around the house in the living room, the kitchen, the hallway. I felt a little guilty, like I was stooping to her level. But my instincts told me I needed proof of her behavior. I had no idea just how crucial that decision would be. A week later, the situation exploded. I came home from work to find the house in complete disarray. Vases were shattered. Pictures were torn from the walls. Furniture was overturned. And there, in the middle of the living room, was Sarah, crying hysterically. She had bruises on her arms and a cut on her forehead. Before I could even process what was happening, two police officers burst through the door. She had called them. She put on the performance of a lifetime, weaving a fabricated story of how I came home in a rage, accused her of cheating, and violently attacked her. She pointed to her self-inflicted injuries as proof. The officers looked at me with suspicion and disgust. The officers exchanged a look. Went pale, the confident, hysterical act vanished, replaced by pure, unadulterated fear. One of the officers stayed with me while the other went to my office to check the computer where the footage was stored. The silence was deafening. Every second felt like an hour. Sarah was trembling, avoiding everyone's gaze. Finally, the officer returned. His expression had completely changed. He looked from the monitor to Sarah with a stone-cold glare. "Ma'am," he said, his voice dripping with disapproval, "it seems you have some explaining to do." He turned to his partner. "Let him go." She did all of this to herself. The relief that flooded through me was so intense, my knees almost buckled. They took the handcuffs off. I was free. The camera footage was undeniable. It showed everything. It captured Sarah, alone in the apartment, methodically destroying our home. It showed her picking up a vase and hitting herself on the arm, creating the bruises. It showed her deliberately running into the edge of a table to cut her own forehead. And most chillingly, it captured her making the frantic 911 call, faking her tears and her terror. Just moments before I walked through the door, it was a premeditated, malicious act designed to ruin my life completely. Faced with irrefutable video evidence, Sarah's lies crumbled. The police arrested her on the spot for filing a false police report, perjury, and property damage. The tables had turned so dramatically, so completely. Mark, who had been hiding in the shadows, was also implicated, as texts between them revealed he was in on the plan to extort money from me. He faced his own legal troubles. In the end, that hidden camera didn't just expose a cheater. It saved my life. It saved me from a false conviction, from financial ruin, and from a future destroyed by a manipulative and dangerous person. The experience was harrowing, and the scars of that betrayal will take a long time to heal. But it also taught me a valuable lesson. Always trust your gut, and sometimes the truth needs a little help to come to light. Today, I'm slowly rebuilding my life, surrounded by people who truly care about me. I'm grateful for my freedom and for the simple, undeniable power of the truth. Thank you for listening to my story. If you've been through something similar, know that you're not alone and things can get better. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories.